Every technological revolution raises the same unsettling question. What happens when machines begin doing the work that humans once performed? Today, artificial intelligence has revived that question with unusual urgency. Some commentators predict a post-work future in which automation eliminates most jobs. Others fear the opposite, a world of mass unemployment and economic instability. But history suggests something more complicated. Technological change does not simply eliminate work. It transforms the forms of work human beings perform. To understand why that matters, we must first ask a deeper question. Why does work matter to human beings at all? The philosopher Hannah Arendt explored this question in her book, The Human Condition. Arendt distinguished three kinds of human activity: labor, work, and action. Labor refers to the repetitive effort required simply to sustain biological life. Work refers to the activity through which human beings build durable things in the world: institutions, technologies, works of art, and systems of knowledge. Action refers to participation in the shared political life of a community. Automation may reduce labor, the repetitive tasks required for survival, but it does not eliminate work in this deeper sense. Human beings will still build institutions, cultures, and communities. Without that activity, societies risk becoming passive systems of consumption rather than living civic worlds, and it certainly cannot eliminate action. Another influential defense of meaningful work appears in the book After Virtue by the philosopher Alistair MacIntyre. MacIntyre argues that many professions function as what he calls practices, activities through which people cultivate excellence according to internal standards of achievement. Medicine, teaching, engineering, scientific research, and craftsmanship are all examples. In these activities, the reward is not merely income. The activity itself cultivates skill, judgment, discipline, and responsibility. Work in this sense shapes character. Technological disruption, of course, is not new. The steam engine mechanized physical labor. Electricity transformed manufacturing. Computers automated calculation and information processing. And painters even objected to the invention of photography. Each wave destroyed certain occupations, yet each also created new industries and new kinds of work. Automation changes the structure of labor, but it rarely eliminates human work altogether. This debate has returned with artificial intelligence. In the book A World Without Work, the economist Daniel Susskind argues that advanced automation may significantly reduce the demand for labor in some sectors. But he also emphasizes that work structures identity, daily life, and social belonging. A society without meaningful work could face serious psychological and civic consequences. The economist Tyler Cowen presents a more optimistic perspective in his book Average is Over. Cowen argues that technological revolutions tend to reorganize labor markets rather than abolish them. When technology eliminates one category of work, human beings frequently migrate into new roles that did not previously exist. A revealing historical example is the automation of household labor in the 20th century. Washing machines, dishwashers, and vacuum cleaners dramatically reduced the time required for domestic tasks historically performed by women. In theory, these technologies eliminated large amounts of household work. Yet women did not become economically obsolete. Instead, many women entered the paid workforce in growing numbers. At the same time, essential forms of unpaid care labor within families remained irreplaceable. Raising children, supporting spouses, guiding families, and transmitting moral values to the new generation. Technology eliminated certain tasks, but it did not eliminate the human work of forming the moral trajectory of the next generation. Some conservative thinkers emphasize this broader social importance of work. In The Once and Future Worker, policy thinker Oren Cass argues that a healthy economy should enable citizens to support their families through productive labor. Work, in this view, builds dignity, stability, and responsibility within communities. The philosopher Roger Scruton likewise emphasized that professions and crafts connect individuals to a shared cultural order. Through work, people participate in building the worlds they inhabit. The digital economy has also already created entirely new forms of labor. Platforms such as OnlyFans allow creators to earn income directly from their audiences without traditional employers and, importantly for many women, without dependence on a spouse's income. For some creators, this represents a new form of economic independence. Yet, artificial intelligence introduces a new tension. If subscriber feeds become dominated by fully automated content, the economic value and authenticity of that work could erode. A healthier model will emphasize human creativity augmented by AI tools rather than replaced by them. Creators will remain present, responsive, and authentic, providing individualized experiences for patrons rather than passive streams of machine-generated material. Concerns about authenticity also arise in debates about artificial intelligence itself. The philosopher Simon Goldstein has argued that AI relationship chatbots designed to simulate romantic and sexual human companionship without any real human participant should ultimately be illegal. These systems blur the line between genuine human interaction and algorithmic simulation. They also raise serious privacy concerns. In an era shaped by social media surveillance and data brokerage, intimate conversations, emotional vulnerabilities, and behavioral patterns can easily become data sets circulating in markets for targeted advertising and behavioral prediction. In this environment, privacy itself becomes a commodity that can be bought and sold. While it is important to defend the dignity of work, it is equally important not to turn work into an ideology. Modern grind culture sometimes treats relentless productivity as the highest moral good. History warns us where that mentality can lead. We do not want to and will not live in a world governed by the slogan Arbeit macht frei. That phrase, meaning in German, work makes you free, appeared above the gates of several Nazi concentration camps. It was a calculated deception. Nazi authorities frequently told Jewish families and other victims that they were being transported to labor camps. Many were instructed to bring clothing and tools suitable for work. In reality, countless people were transported not to workplaces, but to extermination camps, where they were murdered. One of the central bureaucratic figures responsible for organizing this machinery of deportations was Adolf Eichmann. Eichmann coordinated the transporting of millions of Jews to camps where forced labor and extermination occurred on an industrial scale. After the war, Eichmann fled Europe, but was eventually captured by Israeli agents in Argentina. He was brought to trial by the State of Israel and executed by Israel in 1962. When Hannah Arendt covered the trial, later published as her book Eichmann in Jerusalem, she arrived at a disturbing insight. Eichmann did not appear to be a demonic monster. Instead, he appeared ordinary, even banal. He described himself as a bureaucrat, simply carrying out administrative duties. Arendt called this phenomenon the banality of evil. The danger she identified was not merely cruelty, but thoughtlessness. The willingness of ordinary people to participate in evil systems without critically examining what they are doing. That lesson is reinforced by another figure from the post-World War II trials. The young prosecutor, Benjamin Ferencz, served as chief prosecutor in the Einsatzgruppen trial at Nuremberg when he was only 27 years old. The Einsatzgruppen were mobile Nazi killing units responsible for the mass murder of more than 1 million civilians across Eastern Europe. Using captured Nazi records as evidence, Ferencz prosecuted the commanders and helped establish legal principles defining crimes against humanity and genocide, concepts that remain central to international law today. Together, the lessons of Eichmann's trial and Ferencz's prosecutions highlight something crucial. Societies must cultivate citizens capable of independent moral judgment. Work should never become mindless drudgery performed without reflection. It should never become banal. The capacity for critical thinking, the ability to use logic to question institutions, challenge authority, and evaluate moral consequences is essential for our ability to resist the banality of evil. This raises an intriguing question in the age of artificial intelligence. The philosopher Simon Goldstein has asked whether advanced AI systems might eventually possess minds in a meaningful sense, and whether they could therefore deserve legal protections analogous to forms of corporate personhood. Whether or not such systems ever exist, human beings possess a unique capacity for reflective judgment and moral responsibility. More than 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Aristotle described human beings as political animals in his book, Politics. He meant to say that humans realize their nature through shared participation in civic life. Dignified labor plays a central role in that process. Through professions, crafts, caregiving, and service, individuals contribute to the flourishing of their communities. They cultivate responsibility, excellence, and pride in contributing to something larger than themselves. Machines may produce goods, but only human beings can exercise judgment, cultivate virtue, and shape the moral character of the societies they inhabit. The goal of technological progress should therefore not be the abolition of work. It should be the elimination of unnecessary drudgery so that human beings can devote their energy to higher forms of activity, creativity, care, civic participation, and the shared project of building a just and flourishing common world. Thanks for watching.